What's up, everybody? This is Mookie, joined here again with Darth, Menace, and we're doing another episode of Damage Control. And we are going live on Twitch right now. We got Willie joining us, so what's up, Willie? And we do this every Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Central Time. And today we're going to go ahead and discuss the Friday's blog post. Along with that, we'll also go with our weekly segment that we're going to try to be consistent on and talk about the war instincts and just kind of see what's kind of showing up under our radar here within the Platinum 2 war spectrum that we sit on here as a group. So yeah, we'll go ahead and go into all of that information. Again, you can catch this on Twitch. Definitely look and subscribe on that. You can catch everything in this full format where it's unedited, in case you aren't able to watch this on real time, but you can catch it later there, and also on the Mookie Gamer YouTube channel. And of course, Menace, you can catch him on Menace MSF at MSF. I was gonna say .com, but Menace MSF. But let's introduce everyone here. Starting off with Darth. How are you doing, Darth?
Very well, thank you.
Good. And then Menace, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you.
All right. Let's jump right into it here, and let's make sure I got the blog posts up. So I want to start off with this one, and it's mainly to kind of highlight these silhouettes here as far as the characters. So what got released and it was on Friday's blog post, as we'll jump into all the details, it's this first silhouette right here, and this is Echo. And she's, have any of you guys watched the Hawkeye series yet on Disney Plus? You, Darth, or Menace, have y'all caught that series?
I haven't.
No,
I have not.
One episode, but I didn't stay with it.
No. Yeah, so that's where she gets introduced as far as on the recent MCU, I guess, videos that are going out there as far as on the TV shows. So she's an interesting character. The one to the right of it, now that we know it's Echo, this is definitely going to go ahead and become Kate Bishop. And that's what the purple border is all about right here. Now, the two up in the play are going to be the other ones over here on the right, which this one, there's some rumors that may be Brother Voodoo. And I can't, for life of me, there was some other, do y'all have any other second rumors on who this third person may be?
They're talking about Rambo, whatever her first name is.
Monica Rambo. Yeah. So Monica Rambo.
I don't know, but that's what they say.
Okay. And then the one over here on the far right is going to be Morbius. More than likely, that's going to be Morbius. I mean, it just seems fitting as far as even with the purple color kind of trim and so forth. So, anyways, so just kind of jumping right into the blog post, that really does lead into everything in regards to what's going on with this character here. So she's going to be coming out. She's going to be part of the new revamp Young Avengers. So I don't know. As soon as you got this news here, Darth, did you start looking at your Young Avengers at all yet, or had the time to kind of look to kind of see where they're at, if they need to be upgraded? I mean, how's your Young Avengers looking?
My Young Avengers were skipped. So my Squirrel Girl is level 1, and I think that the Miss Marvel might be level 60. I basically skipped them. I haven't put into them for a long time.
Okay. And how about for you, Menace? How have you looked at them?
It's been quite some time, man. Quite honestly, just like Darth.
So you're in the same position there. Okay.
Yeah.
So jumping over here onto mine, I actually have been leveling up a little bit, but I used them, and the reason why is because I did use them as a war defensive team, and it was really as soon as I got the high stars, like for my account, having anything that's 5 and up is starting to get kind of high. So because of that's kind of the main reason why, because I noticed that Squirrel Girl was just kind of an annoyance on defense, especially if she's just out there, cleansing them and healing them and so forth. That was the whole purpose of me upgrading them. So of course, with the news leaking out here now with Echo, I already have my team kind of, somewhat worked, or at least it's manageable to continue that path.
Yeah, I got mine like yours got the 65-ish G12 mark.
For Squirrel Girl?
For all of them. For the Young Avengers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to be interesting. Now, the thing about her coming out, without having to read all into it, but just a summary, is that she is going to be part of a defensive war team. And I don't know. I mean, it's funny within the community, and depending on what content creators you listen to, it kind of seems almost as a whole that they just have an annoyance whenever a new character release comes out and their specific traits are going to start relying on the war defense. So that's kind of where I wanted to kind of just get your guys' theories or just y'all's opinion off of it. With you, Menace. I mean, does it upset you or get you kind of annoyance when you got a character that's going to be a war defensive person?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because the way this game works is there always needs to be one meta defensive team. So they constantly have to bring in that factor into war. Now, I get it. It's not fun because you don't get to play with the character. You're not. You're doing it for a different reason. You're doing it to keep the war interesting. You know what I mean? How am I going to drop that team? So it's a necessary evil. I get it's not fun, and you're not going to use all their abilities because they only click in on war defense. But it makes you stronger. It makes you better, and it makes the game fun.
Yeah. And how about for you, Darth? Do you share that same opinion, or how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm not shy about how much I enjoy war, and I don't mind investing in defensive teams. I get, like I said, like Menace, I get it. It sucks to invest a lot into a team and then basically like never play with them. But like maybe they'll do what they did for Heroes for Hire, because I can use my Heroes for Hire I use them in 2 of the 3 raids, I think. So them being super high is still paying dividends in other places than it is just in war. So I kind of hope that they can do something like that for the Young Avengers too, to make it at least a little better. But like I said, I'm going to invest in them anyway.
Yeah.
The beauty part too, you already have 3 of those characters, so you know what I mean. You're not buying a full team; you're going to buy 1 or 2, and at the same time, you can't say, well, most people don't have a full 10 defensive team roster, so that's an easy way to just boost up your defense a little bit.
Yeah, and you hit it right there. That's exactly where my opinion and my thoughts kind of lead into, is because I think it's good. Like, if it's a good habit to keep, if you're really into the game mode, into the war, Alliance War, you have to kind of look at it every patch, especially every patch at the latest, as far as looking at, okay, what are my top 10 to 13 attack offensive, characters, war teams that I'm ready to use, and kind of build a habit of knowing the pattern and the mindset that you're going to be coming into the war with. And then what I have been noticing, and I have mentioned it to you guys before, I just kind of feel like I leave a lot of meat on the bone. Like I bring up a lot of characters onto my attack war offensive side of things, and there's not much left on the plate as far as on the defense. And it's trying to find that perfect balance, right? As far as like, okay, making sure like, okay, if I'm not using them, let me figure out how I put this character on defense and so forth. And that's kind of where the fun is. It's just like a puzzle. So when I see a character like this coming out with Echo, and at least for me personally, again, I feel like I have so much different offensive options to use. Now this leaves me with something there to be worth the opponents to fight through, So I'm all for it. I mean, I'm not upset about that. And it's a game. I mean, at the end of the game, there's so many different game modes and stuff like that to choose and pick from. To be all hot and bothered about a defensive team, it sounds kind of funny, silly to me. I mean, as far as, when I hear people getting all irate about it, it's like, okay, then.
Yeah, I get the point when you spend the money on something, you want to be able to play it. Mm-hmm. But I think if you're in the game, you got to address it. You know what I mean?
But they tell you right off the beginning, though, right? It's like, and I don't mean to cut you off that way, but it's like, kind of where you're getting at. It's like, but you kind of know in advance what you're paying for, right? So like, if you're not happy about that, then don't buy it, then don't upgrade it, move on.
Well, hold on, you got to give that as a grain of salt, because while you're absolutely right, you don't have to buy it, but to stay competitive, you have to buy it.
Yeah, especially when it becomes one of those legendary release. So yeah, okay, you got me. Yeah, you're right there. But I guess at some point, it's like that shelf to make them shelfable. Like, don't go all in on it, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, overdo it if you know it's not going to be a character that you're going to, use the way you want to. All right, but moving on. So that's Echo. So she's jumping on there. So pretty soon we'll get some news about Kate Bishop, who's going to complete the 5 team members there for the Young Avengers. The other things, this is just kind of updates as far as on some new type of traits with the Greek raids here. And I think there's updates to the orbs. So the rewards that you get here for the alpha, the beta, the gamma, this is just all being updated here, and it sounds like they're going to add some new characters. So the big story and excitement is seeing the city controller, city support, which is more than likely going to become the cloak and dagger. So that's probably a way that we'll start getting some shards off of those new releases.
Do you got hundreds of those orbs?
Who, me?
Okay. I'm just curious because I want you to read the next paragraph and tell you what they did to you.
Nah, no. But you know what? The thing about those orbs, I don't save those. It's
okay.
It's a different type of resource. When it's like shards and stuff like that, I just open them. I know it's Ultima's food, and that's fine. But nah, I don't have these. I don't have these saved.
I know some people that have hundreds of those orbs, and they're like, they're going to rework the orbs. It's like, yep, they did, and they brought you a brand new orb, and you better open up those hundreds of other orbs before they put the brand new orb in there.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a good reminder to kind of shoot that way. I'm actually kind of jumping over here, and let me take a look and see, just to kind of pinpoint it. So what we're talking about is over here, these orbs right here at the bottom of the raid store. Mm-hmm. So now you see I don't have them. This is the one that we're working on right now, right, with Gamma. So I just haven't opened them. Because I had, and the reason being is I want to say that there was some news months ago that they said like after like say Gamma ends, that if you don't open them after a certain week that they fall off. At least that's what I thought I had heard. So that's probably why I didn't hoard them. But that is the reason why I haven't hoarded them, because I thought that they ended up going away. But now with the news here on the blog post, I mean it's a definite, yeah, they're gonna revamp it, and I think the last day to carry those, or your last opportunity to have it says March 7th. All right, and moving on. So on the Mojo's Mayhem part of it, this one right here is just basically talking about like new costumes coming out. For those interested, you have like some options as far as the Hawkeye, Visions, and also Wolverines. So it's not too much. I mean, if it talked about Till, now that's the only thing on this one. Does Till gear? Yeah, it does come off, right? Yeah, Till gear is part of the Mojum's Mayhem, but it's the Strike Pass, right? That does not have Till gear currently. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah, I want to say that maybe one of them has it, one of them doesn't, and I want to say it's the Till gear. It's the Strike one.
The cheap one.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I just wish I had it on both, but that's. I look at this and I'm just thinking about overall, as you do any of these little game passes, at some point they need to add Till gear everywhere. Let me see what else. Not much of any other news of excitements that I have to highlight it here. These are just kind of talking about the next events coming up. I guess at that point, I would kind of end this whole blog post segment here as far as talking about this guy right here. The Mistaken Identity Blitz. Now that's the one that's going to have the Star-Lord T'Challa release. And that's going to come out on Thursday. So this one right here, definitely for those that aren't heavily in the Blitz aspect, you definitely want to go ahead and start looking at your Blitz lineup, your rotations, get it ready. Because the scores are going to be ridiculous on this one. I'm pretty sure. I noticed that the high average to be like around in the top 1%, you're going to have to score about, I'm going to say about like 60 million is what you're going to have to kind of target. And then of course, if you want to be in the top 100, I mean, those scores just go bonkers into the 80s. But on this side of it, I mean, I know Menace, you kind of took a day off on a Ghost one, right? The Ghost was like the last one to kind of focus on for you as far as getting shards. You think you're going to be ready for this one?
Yeah, no doubt. The only problem is I got to probably do what you did, which is update to that new, the shuffle of the teams around. Because I do find myself losing more than I like now. Yeah,
speaking of that, I see if I can find the infographic, I'll pull it up here. But I'll let I never talked to you about it in depth, Darth. So how was your experience with updating your blitz rotation?
I used that sheet that you're about to share, that you're finding or whatever, and I did it exactly as they did it, except for I put all my web warriors together because the two new web warriors weren't on that yet. And it's great. It's amazing. I'm winning almost all of my matches, basically. I don't fall out of 8 anymore, hardly ever. It's improved my score by about 400,000 a rotation. On just a regular rotation of the 37 teams, maybe a little more sometimes. It's been really good.
Yeah, no, it's
like I was a big proponent on, I could do my blitz teams myself. I know which teams to put where. Then I was doing some weird stuff that I didn't think I was supposed to do. But man, those teams they're still cranking out wins, and they just don't seem to care. So it's like at this point, I'll take somebody else's advice because I'm greedy. I want 242 T'Challa shards in 3 weeks. Anyway, so it did seem a little weird to like break up my Secret Avengers and stuff like that, and to break up Weapon X and things like that. But some parts they had were really smart. They still leave you with sure to win teams. It's a pretty smart list.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. Well, anyways, I'll put a link out on there. Sorry, I have it, but it just takes a while as far as sharing it. But it's interesting. But let's see. I think that's about it in regards to the blog post here. So, the one thing I'm going to jump over into as we're kind of talking about it and the new Avengers and the Young Avengers. And let me just pull up my gameplay here. I'm going to kind of close it off with Star-Lord T'Challa. I know we're talking about him. And I wish I had them all sorted here, but I don't have them starred. But what I wanted to ask to just kind of wrap it up here, because he just got released, what I want to say was on Wednesday or Thursday, he came out there. So that was your opportunity to go ahead and buy him for those that, are willing to go ahead and spend the money for it. But then the bigger thing, even though if you don't have the money, you can start doing the Red Star pools. So where did you land your Red Star pool here with him, Darth?
3. I got 3 red on him.
You got 3. And you can see on my picture, I got 2. How about you, Menace?
I got 5.
Nice. And now, are you on the theory, do you think you got a 5 because you haven't purchased him yet?
No, because I played that game too. I do think there is an algorithm without a doubt on the pools, but I don't think it's as simple as that.
Okay. Yeah, I just wondered there's some more, your tinfoil theories going on there. But yeah, I didn't get a good pull. No. Yeah, so anyways, I got him over here. He's definitely an interesting character. I just wanted to kind of close up our little, weekly blog post news here in regards to him, because this is a guy that I'm going to start working on. I'm going to start kind of playing with him a little bit more, because he's definitely a guy that is specific to war offense. But the interesting point of it, with him being the tech trait, is putting him into the Doom raids, and seeing potentially that I think his resource also, as far as going up to the gear 16 level, is somewhat manageable, that you may be able to put him in there as far as on the cosmic side of things. But more to come. It's just something that just kind of think about a little bit. This is someone that we'll be focusing on, and we'll share our experiences with him as the Ravagers team start rolling more into war. So that's the next topic that we're going to jump into. We're going to talk about war instincts. But for the YouTube side of things here, we'll go ahead and wrap it up as far as with our weekly Friday blog posts and about our focus this week. And again, just keep an eye out on that. Stay tuned to us. If you have any other, comments or suggestions in regards to Echo and your excitement about her being into the war defense, if you like that or don't like it, let us know. But otherwise, stay tuned till next week as we come on with another news update for you guys. So appreciate it.